Kia ora, we've just seen the very best players on FIFA 19 compete in the New Zealand Championship for 2 places and head across to represent New Zealand at the E-Nations Cup. The first matchup saw Honey Badger, the #1 ranked PS4 player and playing out of #United from the UK, up against JMK King. Gentlemen, what was really interesting about this is straight away out of the gates we saw the fact that Honey Badger, the more favoured, more seasoned professional, goes down 2 goals and then he just stems the flow and absolutely hammers JMK King.
Yeah, it was a truly dominant performance. As I said, other than that first sort of 20 minutes, it was a dominant performance by Honey Badger, and he just showed why he's the #1. He showed why he's a favourite rather going into the competition in London.
And for you, obviously, Nick, when you looked at that matchup, we just saw it. I mean, it was a very seasoned, very good Honey Badger all the way from the UK, coming back to get the spot to represent New Zealand, and he was dominant throughout.
Yes, technically speaking, simply superior at the game. And I know we mentioned that there were 2 goals conceded early on in the first matchup, but perhaps that was Honey Badger with the full confidence, wanting to see what his opponent could do, wanting to see all that he could put on the table. And after that, the story changed completely, never went back.
And in the Xbox final, we saw, playing out of Breakaway Esports, Airborne, representing Tauranga in the beautiful East Coast, up against Gunners Forever, the Arsenal fan himself, and a very, very good team. But gentlemen, we saw this, a far different matchup than we saw in the PlayStation setup. So Toby, when we saw it, it was 1-1. We got to the final sudden death. We also saw overtime as well, so a very even matchup in this one.
Definitely. I think in this matchup as well, we saw a lot more tactical shifts, particularly in that first game where Airborne went for a very, very narrow formation, but then in game 2 and 3, just those tactics, and it was just way too much for Gunners to be able to handle.
And for you, Nick, when you looked at that one, we talked about at the top just there, it was 1-1. It was truly anyone's, but at the very end, Airborne was so dominant. You know, 6 goals to 0. It was just a cakewalk at the end, but it wasn't to be the case through the first 2.5, the first 2 matches and the half of the 3rd match.
Yeah, no, and I know we talk about mental fortitude and your mental toughness to be able to clutch out a game or to be able to look at a 2-goal deficit and say, hey, I can do this, I can come back. This is what I have to do, and I commit to the plan. Unfortunately, that didn't come through for Gunners tonight.
So there we have it. Hundreds entered the New Zealand tournament, 4 turned up here at LPL Studios and 2 walked away. The champion, Honey Badger for PS4 and Airborne in the Xbox. Those 2 will head across later on in the month to represent New Zealand at the E-Nations Cup on the global level. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed it. That is us from LPL Studios.